When we first met, you were sitting on a stool in a bar downtown, just trying to be cool. Seemed like every time I turn around, I bump into you. You just bounce around and do the bounce, bounce boogie, bounce, bounce boogie.
I'm Jenny Lynn Hawkins, and I'm one of the Fabulous Fenderskirts.
I am Diane Brown-Troney, one of the original Fabulous Fenderskirts.
My name is KG Miller, and I'm 1/3 of the Fabulous Fenderskirts.
Well, you used to be shy, you would talk to me. Oh, but now you're not. You're just nice as can be. When I see you smiling, I never frown. I bump into you, we bounce around. We do the bounce, bounce, boogie, 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 dance like crazy fools.
And there is a restroom somewhere close by.
I love the Fenderskirts. Back in the day, down in Winslow, they would play at various venues, and we would just have the greatest time. It's been 40 years. So, anyway, I'm thrilled to be here tonight.
They used to play at the same time we played. They're from Bainbridge, and they used to hang out and play it in the circuit on Bainbridge. Marshall's, Martinique, all the good places. We all had a band at the same time, and we used to hang out together, and it was Willie and the Tailgaters and them and us. We were the Thirsty Leeches. I'm a screamer. That's what I do.
I have been listening to the Fenderskirts for so many years and dancing to the Fenderskirts. Timber Lodge, the Martinique, Lemon Tree.
Marshalls. That was such fun.
A fireman's ball. There was a fireman's ball, and there were some police in the parking lot.
I remember that. It was a long, long time ago.
But we don't know who it was the police were after.
Yes, we do.
My dad is the bass player.
How long have you been watching the Fenderskirts?
Since birth.
Don't fence me in. Let me be.
Yeah, well, actually, there's one more. That one. That one.
Listen to the murmur of the crew.
That's gonna jack everything.
No, it's just the monitor.
Ask you, please. Don't fence me in. Just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle.
Can we go like this?
The western side.
Yes. Right, straight across. Okay.
I just noticed how nice Mike looks tonight.
Doesn't he?
Oh.
Can you guys hear okay up there now?
Can you hear it now? Or do you need
Because that was just monitors. That was no main.
So you just look fabulous. What happened here? I mean,
I got new jeans for
in
Christmas.
sartorial splendor.
Yeah, no, actually in the blues band I wear a suit.
Oh, you had to. Okay.
Well, I didn't have. You know, you can push it as much as you want. It's not a lot of effort.
No,
here,
it looks
to tell you
good.
the truth.
No, I remember those years.
I knew I should have worn my old torn ripped jeans.
We started out just as kind of a lark. I mean, I felt it was kind of a lark. Early on, really early on, like during the very first gig we did with Willie and the Tailgaters.
Bill Clark and started a group called Willie and the Tailgaters, and they were doing the grand opening of the Last Resort up in Hansville. And Diane and Katie and I were sitting around one day. I'm not even sure how we all got together, and we just started singing, and we blended completely right away.
showed up Saturday. I said, Baba, baby, do Sunday, run, day, Baba, do Sunday, run, Baba, do Sunday, run, Baba, do.
Those early days, we were practicing down at the barracks with Willie and the Tailgaters. They had a practice room in the barracks at Fort Worth.
And they told us that we could have one set worth of music to perform with them. So we put together 8 country tunes because we were singing with a country band, Willie and the Tailgaters, which is how we got our name, the Fenderskirts.
We were performing in front of friends at that point. That was just a big party with friends. So word got out on the island, everybody went there.
Another free event, correct?
Yes. Party.
I was so amazed that I got to be a part of this group. It was a dream I didn't even think I could have. But they let me sing, because I sing pretty good harmony. So they let me do that. And I didn't think I could sing very well, so one night I broke through. I thought, nobody knows that I can't sing. I'll just act like I am, singing well. And I've been doing it ever since.
We know a lot about the Fenderskirts. We've been following them for years, and we absolutely love their music. Love it.
The thing we enjoyed most is that we've known them for so long. We went to school with them, and we have just enjoyed growing older together.
Not old, just older.
Older.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, bang.
Back in 1979, 1980, 1981, I was playing in a band in Seattle. We were called the Sleepwalkers. The band was just kind of a part-time thing. My real joy, my creative life, was being a groupie for the Fenderskirts. This was long before I moved to Bainbridge Island. And the band I was in was kind of a rival band, but on my off nights, I would go see the Fenderskirts wherever they were playing, and they used to play a lot of places in Pioneer Square, and they were always a fabulous band. And those women could sing, and they were beautiful. They still are beautiful.
And actually, it was on the stage at Pioneer Square Tavern where we went back often. I was the one that would be bold enough to go around with a beer pitcher to collect tips. That's what we made, was tips.
$1.380 a piece.
Yeah, $1.380. Yeah. Oh, and there was a bartender there, this real skinny guy with buggy eyes, and he'd go like, "Oh, it's the Fender babies. It's the Fender baby." Yeah, the Pioneer Square Tavern was a real dive.
So we played a lot in Pioneer Square those first years. First at the Pioneer Square Tavern, and then we also played at the Merchants Cafe.
And we would walk from the ferry with all our stuff. You know, in those days, you know, you could walk from the ferry and back at 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning without, you know, fearing for your life.
So those were the days when there was the 2:15 ferry, and if we missed that at the end of the night, we had to wait till the 4:30 boat.
We took a lot of late night ferries. We were a lot younger then, and it was no big deal to wait for the 2:15 ferry or whatever it was after we finished up in a bar, usually in Pioneer Square, and had an hour or two to kill. And a lot of crazy things happened on the boat.
So then we would stop and eat at those all-night places.
What's the Italian restaurant that was right down there on the side street? Starts with a T. Tribal.
Trattoria Michelli.
We went there. Was the doghouse?
We went to the doghouse too. That was on 6th.
Yeah.
And that was a funny place at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, they were all funny at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And then the old waitresses that worked in the doghouse would just get impatient with the people that were there giving her a hard time. And if they really wanted to get rid of people, they'd start mopping the floor with ammonia.
That's hilarious.
Hello, Bainbridge Island! But the sound of everyone's coming is the sweetest sound I've ever heard.
I remember when the Fenderskirts were kind of the girlfriends of Willie and the Tailgaters.
What makes it special?
That I'm still alive to see them.
The first band I ever heard on Bainbridge Island, 1981, when I moved here, and just had a great time, and just felt like I came home in a lot of ways, and just loved them. Ended up working with some of the folks at the Second Landing and whatnot in different restaurants through the years.
Casey and I worked together at the Landing, Second Landing.
But we did New Year's Eve about 1978 with Willie and the Tailgaters at the Rio Cafe.
When we ended up playing at the Rio ourselves, after we separated from the Tailgaters, we got our own gigs there. And it was so crowded inside that we had to go across the street to have a drink on our breaks just to get away from people and calm down. And that was the 5 spot. And Casey and I had a really funny conversation over there.
I can't sing. I just can't sing. I sing harmony really, really well, but I don't like the sound of my voice. I blend it really well. And I just said, I just can't sing.
So we're sitting at a table next to the bar, and there's some real serious drinkers at that bar. This woman turned to the bartender or a friend and said,
she said, "What's the matter?" And Diane, you said, she says she can't sing. And she turns to the bartender and says, "Oh, she can't sing. Isn't that sad?"
Well, she's sweet, she is fine, a boy, and I love her so. But if we can't make this party a woman, she's sure to blow. I gotta go to the party, and we'll do your show. If I can't take it, I just won't take it. I won't be the very one. Trickle, trickle, splash, splash. Tell me how long will this rain last? The rain keeps dropping, there ain't no stopping. Tell me how long will this rain last? Trickle, trickle, stop, stop. I just got to see my feet don't drop. She's there waiting on hesitate. Tell me how long will this rain last? Tell me how long will it
Susie Glassberg asked us if we would do a fundraiser for a theater group called Skid Road Theater. and they had a fundraiser in the market. She said, can you learn a set's worth of material? We said, okay. We got a band together. We did this. There was a man called, whose name was John Cannon, who was there. He owned the Pioneer Square Tavern, and he loved to get new bands out and promote them. And so he said, can you do a whole evening's worth of music? And so that's what kicked us off, basically. And the newspaper got a hold of us. They loved it, and I've got to go sing now.
Do you remember those Tams we bought? We bought those down in Pioneer Square. And
punk clothes that had to do with punk
80s clothes.
We got ourselves all dressed up in berets and striped tops and weird dog collars and things like that. That was part of the punk movement.
Oh, I remember the dog collars.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Matching rhinestone dog collars.
We were never punk. We were only 80s. We were like Cyndi Lauper and
right. But we were shopping in a punk shop.
And singing old 50s tunes.
No, we shop for clothes up at the vintage shop up at the Pike Place Market.
I remember one of the street dances we did, and I was 8 months pregnant with Aaron, my oldest. And I remember the dress.
But we performed for a lot of parties, a lot of weddings, a lot of special events of all kinds. Kind of our fanciest thing we did was we played after the Seattle Symphony New Year's Eve party. We were the dance band in the foyer, so that was one of the fancier things. So we've done everything from that level to just down in the bars where people are slopping beer on your feet, like at the Pioneer Square Tavern or Doc Maynard's. I used to get beer on my sandals all the time there.
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hey, let me tell you about a place somewhere out in New York way, where the people are so gay, they're twisting the night away.
My thoughts about the Fenderskirts is that the main part of the band was the 3 women up front.
Old and young, they're twisting the night away. Hey, yeah.
But I was going to say that we had a lot of different players. We had several drummers. We had several guitar players. We even had a keyboard for a while. Who was the guy that played the keyboards?
Ed Vance.
Oh, that's right, Ed Vance. Yeah.
Hammond B3.
And Paul played the saxophone?
Paul Fessenden.
Yeah.
He came in after Snake.
Yeah, and it was great when Snake came, and Kip too. But we had some great players.
Hey, yeah, twisting. Everybody's feeling great. We're twisting the night. Oh, let's twist a while. Lean up.
I remember at that time there was a resurgence of interest in 60s Motown. It was the late 70s, and people were looking back to the 60s Motown. There were a lot of a cappella groups doing Motown and stuff like that, like Sha Na Na. And so that was always the music I had been interested in.
And I like the Linda Ronstadt style stuff, so I brought a lot of that in. But what was interesting is that we never really sat down and figured out specific arrangements, right, Cage? We just kind of started singing, and our tunes grew organically. Would you say that's fair?
Yes.
And the charts were in our heads, and we would take notes. Everybody got a chance to choose a new tune, and I had like a 50s or 60s very popular kind of songs.
You picked a lot of songs that had a lot of words.
Well, I'm kind of loquacious.
When we approached the Fenderskirt playlist, I know in my mind, I was trying to think of things that would be the most popular with the biggest audience back there, who were mostly our age, young 20-something baby boomers or 30-something baby boomers, and the things that we remembered from high school and having fun and dancing. We set ourselves up as a dance band, and I think that's part of why people liked us so much, because we were thinking of ways to make them be happy and dance.
I always felt that one of the key components of our success was the fact that we looked like we were having a lot of fun. And we were, as far as I'm concerned. We got such a kick out of watching everybody else have fun that made us have more fun. So it was like a feed, and it just
symbiotic.
Yeah, it was great.
For me was just the three of us being able to perform together and make harmony and have it be sort of magical when we all came together. That was really special, and it's not anything that you can, it's something that sort of happened organically, and people really responded to it. We all pick the songs we want to sing ourselves, our lead songs, and then others will sing backup for us. And then together we decide on some of the songs that we want to sing as three-part harmony. In the last few years, we haven't worked that much together. I used to own a restaurant in Seattle, and I would have parties in the restaurant, and I would have the Fenderskirts come there. And so that was fun for me to have the Fenderskirts in my own space and have my customers come to see us there.
There was bands like us doing cover tunes, nostalgia cover tunes, or cover tunes of current music. And there was also this alternate punk scene that was going on. There were performers down at the place called Shelley's Leg, and a couple of other venues that featured more of the precursor to the grunge, which at that time was the punk scene. So that's kind of what was going on back then.
Kind of moved from a lot of live music back in the 80s.
Lots.
A lot. And then they went through a period of time when there was just a lot of recording and digital music that was going on in the bars, and they kind of you would look for work and they weren't doing live music anymore. So we watched the live music phase in, phase out, and it would go in waves, as I recall. And what's really interesting is I think they're paying about the same amount now for gigs for people for then, which was 40 years ago.
Yeah. So if you made $100 in a night, you were doing great. And honestly, that's the way it is now.
Yeah.
We made a lot more money when we started doing weddings and things like that. That was more lucrative.
We did some hotel gigs. Do you remember the modeling gig that we did was it the Sheraton?
Yes.
Yeah, and we stole all the hangers.
Oh yeah, I still have some of those hangers. Those are really good hangers.
It was for a t-shirt company.
Yeah, that's right. And we did a gig down in near the airport. And
yeah.
What was that? We dressed up in kind of like Christmas.
I got it.
Christmas.
I know exactly what it was. It was at the Red Lion Inn, and it was the International Symposium of Logistics Engineers Convention. And they were dancing the pogo no matter what we did. And they were all nerds, total nerds.
For a long time, we had like 4-piece band. And then there were the 3 of us. So we were 7 people trying to get a job. It was pretty crazy.
Some of the fun things we got to do in the last few years was to work with KPLU and do the radio theater with Dick Stein, his original music plays.
True story. Now, here are the Fabulous Fenderskirts to tell us all about a guy who would never let a lard ball pass his lips.
Tonight we'll have a party. We'll eat some food that's rare. And at the head of the table, I will place Brother Henry's chair. Invite all the local big dogs. Hey, we'll laugh and talk and eat. Then we'll save the bones for Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat. Don't be a misunderestimator of the deciderator. Latch on to that big squidulator. Don't mess with history, be keen.
From beyond the stars, a flying disc, and in it a disco squid.
Disco squid was a friend of mine.
Oh, knock it off.
When it comes to Shafafa, let alone Osenfe,
I think the final word rests with the Fabulous Fenderskirts.
I don't want French fried potatoes, red ripe tomatoes. I'm never satisfied. I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome fay, with shafafa on the side. I don't want pork chops and bacon, that won't awaken my appetite inside. I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome fay, and shafafa on the side.
That was really fun. It was fun to be on the radio. It was fun to take part in that. Fun to meet people that I've been listening to on the radio for years. And did I think 4 of those over the last 4 or 5 years. Dick Stein wrote original radio plays. They would be fundraisers for the station. The last one was in a very fancy venue. It was at Benaroya Hall. And the actors would be the people that were on air. And then we would provide a little color in the background, whatever Dick Stein wanted us to be doing. And that was really fun. So we've gone all the way from Tavern on Bainbridge to Benaroya Hall.
Fenderskirts being from Bainbridge Island and having the little bit of notoriety that we got on the island first and then in the city, I don't know, it made it kind of special when we would come back to the island and we would do gigs there. It just felt really, really good.
It's a real ego booster.
Yeah, there were times when I basked in the glory of being a Fenderskirt singer. I will have to admit, I enjoyed it, and when people would get all riled up and so excited and clap and scream and tell us how great we were, I loved every minute of it. There's nothing like the intoxication of people clapping as a reward for anything you do. And so to be so popular and to make so many people happy and to have that power was wonderful.
See, to have people have so much fun and to say, oh, you're one of the Fenderskirts. Oh, you guys are so great. We just love you. It was really fun. Yeah, and special.
Yeah, going to the town and country market, you're checking out and they go, hey, you girls still singing? You gonna be singing again soon?
Yeah. I remember going into a shop at the town and country market and always having people stop me and say, oh, we were at your gig. I mean, I couldn't shop incognito. I would always get stopped and somebody would want to say something to me in there. And it kind of made you feel like a celebrity, although I knew where my place was. I didn't get over the top about it, but you did feel like a local celebrity just walking around town.
Yeah, there were some people in Seattle who followed us from place to place in Seattle that I thought was quite amazing. And we got written up every week. You know, there would be a calendar of where we were. So we always worked like 2 or 3 night weekends. Sometimes hardly ever 4, because that was kind of a drag. And we all had day jobs. You know, we're all the same age.
Exactly the same age.
Well, Diane and I, our birthdays are exactly 2 days apart. She's the oldest.
I'm 2 days older.
And Katie is a couple of months, 3 months behind us. So we were all exactly the same age. And it's funny to be thinking about it because when we started this group, we were in our...
We were old.
We were
31. I'm so old. I'm 31 years old, and I'm up here on this stage and singing. Oh my God! Oh, I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud.
I remember one day we were having our makeup done in one of the stores, Terry's store. We're having our makeup done, and Katie, you said, "The bloom is off the rose," and we were 31 years old.
Yeah, we thought we were old to be in a band.
We were. Because you know, our fans on the island were kind of our age, but when we went into town and we were performing in all those live venues,
they were in their 20s.
They were 21-year-olds. They were a lot younger than us, actually.
That's why we were tacky but real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
One drop, 2 drop, 3, 4 glasses of beer. I said, hey, bartender. Hey, bartender. Hey, bartender. Hey, bartender. 1, 2, 3, 4 glasses of beer.
Washington, right? I like what she said, whatever that is. Uh-oh, I forgot. They haven't played this before. I forgot to write down the words. Uh-oh. I'll wing it.
Substantially older than 30.
I'm so grateful I had that time. That was the time I felt like the freest that I ever was in my life, really. And it was wonderful to have those memories and to have that little bit of stardom or whatever you want to call it, and to have so much fun doing it.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with you guys.
I did too. I really did.
We'd be singing together right now if we could.
We would.
Oh, hey man, this has been so much fun for us. I never thought it would happen again. You guys are not having any fun, are you? Don't you ever tire out when we see Jamaica moving above.
Talking about real, it was such a wonderful thing that happened to me. I couldn't even have dreamed that this could have happened to me. I always felt as though I were a performer, but I didn't have a plan. And I turned out to be a performer, and I really loved it.
I feel so grateful to have, including the Fenderskirts, spent the last, and I hate to admit it, 50 years being a professional singer. And 30 plus years of that was the Fenderskirts.
Yeah, fun. Singing gets right to you, right in my heart. Nothing better. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you for both of you. And it's kind of amazing that we all found each other and created this thing that we can be kind of proud of.
I was just listening to two different very early recordings, and my God, we're so good. We really are.
Well, it's good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, it makes me wish we were singing right now.
I
yeah,
know.
singing would be good.
But actually just being able to physically be closer than we are here. This is crazy.
It's a tonic. It's a tonic.